Today's magazine is filled with stories of upgrade and hope. Craft markets are getting facelifts and we have the details. Also,
there was a time I thought that getting an education was out of my reach, until I realized that sometimes help comes when you least expect it.
This young man was having a hard time finding his footing in high school, and one organization stepped in to help him. Keep watching to find out more. I'm Theodore Henry, but wait, that's not all we have in today's show. Magnificent stalactites and petroglyphs by the Tainos hidden away inside the Hull Cave. Guess where we are in our Round the Bend series? I'll tell you later. Stay tuned. It's never good to talk with food in your mouth, so make the soup cool down liquor. And in the meantime, I'll give you another taste of our heritage with today's word, fi. Fi, I'd say, is an accompanying possessive pronoun, and its meaning is based on the word that follows it. For example, fi me, meaning mine. Fi them, theirs. Fi you, fi him, fi her. You get the meaning, right? But fi also means to or for. As in, you not fi do that, or you can go on for your soup now. Not just so the markets look good, but also to make it easier for locals and tourists to walk and peruse all the merchandise on display. That's why the Ministry of Tourism will fix up the craft market them, for everybody. Find out more next.
The Old Fort Craft Market.
We have $25 million that is earmarked for the improvement of the park experience.
The Harbour Street Craft Market.
We're giving you the marketing support to enable you to have visibility out there.
Just two of several craft markets across the country which are being repositioned to meet first world standards and by extension, the visitor's expectation. Fresh designs, marketing strategies and offerings, the basis on which the newly repurposed craft markets are being implemented. The Tourism Ministry is on a drive to ensure craft markets are designed in such a way that they are accommodating and easy to navigate. Visiting these locations will then be an experience with vending being only one aspect. They will present cultural entertainment for consumption. This may consist of a gallery, a restaurant, and a performing arts show, all interwoven with the core offering of the sale of craft products.
It's a confluence of Jamaicanism that flows through that experience that the visitor knows is really authentic and also opinionated. That's the kind of presentation that we have to make.
The old craft market is being upgraded at a cost of approximately $33 million. The work being carried out by the Tourism Product Development Company includes the restoration of the Heritage Park that holds cannons and storyboards.
This is unique. This is different from the rest of craft markets or craft experiences across Jamaica, because this is one of the few that has the potential for this complete experience. Heritage and history, food and entertainment.
To augment the refurbishing of current craft markets is the introduction of artisan villages. St. Anne, St. James, Trelawney, Portland and Westmoreland are to each have an artisan village, totaling 5 across the country. Live craft making with the option of the tourist selecting a design and the product is done before their vacation ends is one of the features to shape artisan villages.
So the visitor, when he comes into the artisan village, he can begin with the artisan sitting there crafting away. Then he moves on from there and he goes to where it is displayed for sale. Unique products made in Jamaica.
With regards to marketing, the tourism slogan is being flipped. It is quickly becoming no more once you go you know, but you know before you go. The proliferation of the internet is changing how visitors shop. Studies have shown Visitors will make their purchases before arriving at a destination, paying for not only their rooms but also souvenir items. To this end, craft vendors' products will be marketed online.
We're gonna have to start market through Clio so that all our markets will be on their schedule. And that will help to position you on board the ship before they come so that people will know where they're going. And when they come off of the port, they're not just taking anywhere, they know where they're going.
Authentic Jamaican-made products. That's what the visitors desire when they shop. As such, the Tourism Ministry is seeking to reduce the volume of imported craft items.
When the visitor comes and he gets authentic Jamaican thing, that validates his visit. That tells the world that I came to Jamaica.
There is also the move to ensure diversity in the product base. To address this issue, the Craft Development Institute will be established at the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. It will not only expand the fine arts industry, but also provide artisans with opportunities to participate in product enhancement and business development training programs.
What we're about is not change to disrupt. You understand me? It is about bringing everybody in to this new moment that we have where we have to look better, feel better, and demonstrate a higher level of marketing.
Through the creation of artisan villages, the redesigning of craft markets, online marketing and craft production training, Jamaica's craft industry will rake in more foreign exchange earnings.
More features after we check out what's happening on the community notice board.
Friday, October 25, the Manchester High School is the place to be. Why? The Ministry of Health will be making the first stop in its Take Responsibility Road Tour. Come out, participate, and learn about healthy living. All are welcomed and it's free. Catch the Houses of Parliament design exhibition at the Jamaica Conference Centre. Show your support for our local architects. The exhibit closes Wednesday, October 24, 2018. Get more information at ourparliament.com. The Calvary Temple Evangelical Church of Christ will be having a grand gospel concert on November 30 at 28 Grove Road, Linstead, St. Catherine. Tickets cost $800. Call 876-820-5209 for more details. Proceeds are in aid of the church's music program. Do you have something to share on our notice board? Give us a call at 876-922-8680 or email rcarty@jis.gov.jm.
At the top of the show, you were introduced to this young man. Now let me give you a little piece of his story. Malik did so well in primary school that he got a scholarship. But sometimes even brilliant students can get distracted. And that is exactly what happened to Malik, who began falling behind in school. He was just about to lose his scholarship when he got some help. But I told you it was just a little piece of the story I was giving you, so watch for more.
There was a time I thought that getting an education was out of my reach, until I realized that sometimes help comes when you least expect it.
That was 17-year-old Malik White, now a sixth form student at Camperdown High School. 4 years ago, he was not expected to graduate fifth form. Although one of the top GSAT students from Greenwich All Age, Malik struggled to make the transition to high school.
I entered high school with close to 90% average, and in grade 7 I was very far from that average. My poor performance was really due to my choice in friends. I chose those who could entertain me instead of those who would elevate me.
When I started teaching Malik in grade 8, he was very distracted, a little bit lazy, on the lazy side, and he was frequently absent from school.
Not only was Malik's poor performance drawing the attention of school administrators, he was also at risk of losing funding for his education, which was being provided through a scholarship from Petrojam.
I was at home one day in the summer and My mother received a call from Mrs. Jagan from Picture Jam. She said they're thinking about suspending my scholarship for a year, and if I didn't get my grades up, it would possibly be permanent.
Top boy for Greenwich is...
Since 2006, the Petra Jam GSAT scholarship program has been fueling the success of outstanding students. The scholarship program provides funding for tuition, books, and other related expenses for the duration of the awardees' secondary school education.
The program came out of an effort by Petra Jam staff to give back to the community of which we are a part. The primary objective of this scholarship program is to make future leaders of our students.
Since its inception, over 20 students from the Greenwich All-Age and St. Andrew Primary Schools have been beneficiaries. The initiative provides assistance annually to the top-performing boy and girl from each school. Petra Jam has taken a multifaceted approach to ensure that these students thrive.
We want to ensure that our students remain on the program, so Petra Jam offers the Homework Center program, where we have a trained teacher come in and sit with the students twice weekly. In addition to that, we provide mentors for our students, and these mentors are the staff volunteer their time to mentor the students.
The organization believed in Malik's potential and wanted to see him succeed. They stepped in when they saw that he was having difficulties making the grade.
It was more mandatory for me to attend the homework program because for the entire grade 8 year, I didn't attend the homework class at all.
Malik was also matched with a mentor who could steer him in the right direction.
Neil Scott is, to say a mentor, he would be understated, and as such, I believe in more calling him a godsend.
I try to find out exactly what's going on with him, what's going on with the schoolwork, is he making the grade, if there is any lapse. You know, we try to see what we can do to ensure that that is resolved so he can continue to do exactly what he wants to do.
I had to let go of some of my friends because they were not at all influencing me positively. I ensured that anything that I could do to possibly better my grades, keep my scholarship, maintain the average, I would have to do. Sacrifices had to be made, and I made them.
He started taking interest now in his work and in himself. Whenever he was going to be absent or from a class, he would let me know, and if he was absent, he would come and say, "Miss, what did we do yesterday, or what did we do at class?"
With his diligence and the support and guidance provided by Petra Jam, Malik was able to retain his scholarship and in 2017 was named valedictorian of his graduating class. Petra Jam is a true believer in helping young people to achieve their fullest potential, providing financial, educational, and emotional support to help dreams become reality.
The program really changed their lives. They are exposed to another side of life.
I would have never made it this far if not for the help of Petra Jam. Honestly, I can say on behalf of all the recipients of this scholarship program, I believe now that I know how to adjust, improve, and question the world that I will enter. More than anything else, Petra Jam has assured me that my future will be more vibrant than my present.
I would love to be the doctor that found the cure for breast cancer. And if it weren't for Petra Jam, then I probably would not have realized this passion that I had for this specific occupation.
If you've been watching Jamaica Magazine this month, you would have seen our travelogue series, Round the Bend. Well, it continues today. So where are we now? Here are some hints. It's the birthplace of one of our founding fathers. It's Bauxite Rich, and it's one of the coolest parishes in Jamaica. I hope you figured it out by now, but if not, watch this.
The cool parish of Manchester is known for landmarks such as this courthouse and even the St. Mark's Church with a jail attached to it. But there's much more to this parish worth exploring. Welcome to Manchester, a parish that tells a lot about our history as a people and as a country. And I'm here to find some of those places, like the courthouse. So, come with me. My journey took me to the community of Cocoa Walk overlooking the Caenwood Valley. This is said to be where we had the second largest settlement of Tainos. The first was in what's now Hellshire in St. Catherine.
The Caenwood Valley land starts from...
I was curious to know more about the valley, so I met up with Valerie Dixon and Mr. Peter.
Caenwood Valley starts from on top of the hill leading to the round hill where Godwell is. Then you have Alligator Hole. The boundary of Caenwood Valley is wall to the north side. Private people have land from here to Victoria Town and the rest to the Clarendon border. The whole flat that you're looking at is wetland. And you have different rivers now that flow from the wetland. Now the other thing is the longest beachfront now is from up by Alligator Hole to a place down here, we call it Old Oman Point.
That's a Taino.
That's a Taino heritage site.
The wind was getting heavier, so I continued the conversation with Valerie upstairs.
The Caenwood Valley is special and should be protected and maybe even declared a World Heritage Site because it's the last part of, I would say, the dry limestone forest that we have in Jamaica.
And how did the valley get its name?
It got its name Cano because the Tainos were really fishermen. And you know that the boat that people fish in is really called a canoe. So there were many huge cotton trees growing in the Caenwood Valley. And they would fell, not fall, but fell the trees and they would hew or dig out the boats, which we call the canoes, from out of those trees. And so the valley became known as the Caenwood Valley.
Good. And you talk about some caves down there as well.
As a matter of fact, I would like to show you one of the caves that has petroglyphs in it.
So we head out to find this cave somewhere in Alligator Pond, but not before stopping at the ruins of Fort Charlotte. It was originally in the parish of Vere, long before there was Manchester.
It was very, very necessary for this section of the sea to have protection because Alligator Pond, which was a very, very important port for both the imports coming in from England and they would offload in Alligator Pond. And then the goods leaving from Jamaica to go to England, like everything else, there were people who wanted the goods that were going to England. So you would have the pirates who would be lurking in these waters. So the fort would be firing shots at them. So this was a vantage point, and you can just see the wide expanse of sea that is covered from our vantage point right here.
After this lesson, it was back to finding the cave to see the Taino drawings.
Wait. Carry over here, sir. Now, what's...
Oh, yeah. So Valerie, we are here at the Hull Cave.
Yes, ma'am.
Where the drawings of the Tainos are, all right?
Those drawings are called petroglyphs.
Talk to me about them and tell me about the significance of this cave.
Okay, caves were spiritual places, sacred places. So a cave like the Hull Cave now was where they would gather drinking water. And to the petroglyph now, when those Taínos came, a delegation came for the Marcus Garvey Fair, they explained that this could symbolize that the son of a cacique is buried somewhere in this cave. So we have work for our archaeologists to come now and study these caves, study what these petroglyphs mean.
I know you said you're not going in the cave, but I am going in there just to check it out. So
good luck to you, my dear. I'm sure you wanted an adventure, yes. And an adventure you're going to get.
And here I go.
Okay.
All right. Any spider anywhere, because I'm afraid. All right, so you go ahead of me. I wonder what their dance was like. All right, Mr. Peter, what do you think this one represents?
They say it's a sun, Cassie's son, buried somewhere under the cave here. Oh. So they leave this as a sign. Manchester Parish Council have this in their booklet as one of the cave, but they never have the second drawing.
Right here, right here. Yeah. Their face, a mouth, two eyes. Yeah.
Trying to decipher the petroglyphs was not easy. And this is where our journey ends. So until next time, when we bring you more history from another parish or maybe here in Manchester, take care.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced this week that Jamaica was on track to achieve 30% of its electricity coming from renewables within 2 years, which is ahead of the target for 20% of renewables by the year 2030. With that goal on track, he said government had a new, more ambitious target.
So, pushing our energy generation to be 50-50 by 2030. Fossil fuels and renewables. That is in our national security interest, in our survival interest, that we do that in Jamaica.
Mr. Holness was addressing Tuesday's commissioning of solar photovoltaic panels at the office of the Prime Minister. At its quarterly media briefing earlier this week, the Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, expressed optimism that Jamaica's economic growth momentum would be sustained.
As growth levels continue to increase quarter over quarter, we are hopeful that with an accommodative monetary policy enabling growth in credit to the private sector, the stimulus provided by the significant increase in capital expenditure, and an overall optimism for a stronger economy, as evidenced by the surveys, stronger economy by both business and consumers, this growth momentum will continue.
Revenues from cruise and stopover passenger spending are outpacing visitor arrival figures by 10%. The projection is that by the end of 2018, tourism earnings will be about $3.3 billion. Meanwhile, the Jamaica Center for Tourism Innovation, JCTI, will be training 8,000 tourism workers within the next 5 years to be able to meet the growing demand for certified sector employees.
We are determined that within the shortest possible time, we are going to create a cadre of trained and certified professional workers of our industry that will make it impossible for anyone to say that we can find better workers outside of Jamaica.
Hospitality educators, culinary tutors and bartenders were among 250 to receive certification from the JCTI this week. Still on tourism, Minister Edmund Bartlett has ordered the Tourism Product Development Company to lead an intensive security audit of all properties within the sector, including hotels and attractions.
And then adherence to certain security protocols. The strongest necessary measures will be taken against companies found to be in this breach.
In the meantime, ground has been broken to upgrade the Salem Beach in St. Anne at a cost of $26 million. The Tourism Enhancement Fund, TEF, is financing the project, which should be completed by February 2019.
There is little doubt that this wonderful beach is one of Salem's main attractions. By strengthening Salem Beach as a destination, we will help to improve the town's tourism economy, diversifies its offerings, and thereby enhances economic competitiveness.
58 families in Caenwood, Trelawney are the latest to secure their keys as government moves to expand home ownership across the island. The National Housing Trust built the 58 detached two-bedroom units at a cost of over $190 million. Individual unit costs start at $11.5 million. Government has purchased 3 new garbage trucks to boost the capabilities of the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA. Local Government Minister Desmond Mackenzie says even more trucks are coming.
By the end of this year, early January, an additional 12 trucks will complement the fleet, and by year-end 2019, we are looking at close to 50 brand new trucks for the National Solid Waste Management Authority.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has confirmed that more zones of special operations, ZOSOs, will be declared as government moves to restore peace in communities across the island.
I've said in this House on many occasions that we have identified so far 20 communities. It takes serious planning. It means that you have to increase your recruitment both in the army and in the police. We have to make budgetary allocations. The Minister of Finance already knows what the outlay will be.
The Prime Minister made the comments on Tuesday as he successfully led 2 parliamentary resolutions to extend the Mount Salem ZOSO and the St. James state of public emergency. On Monday, over 200 persons were awarded with national honors for their contribution to national development in various fields. The ceremony of investiture was held on the lawns of King's House. And finally, the Reggae Girls made history this week as they made Jamaica the first Caribbean country to ever qualify for a senior FIFA Women's World Cup, securing their spot at the 2019 finals in France. Prime Minister Andrew Holness was among those praising the girls for their hard work and dedication in securing the achievement.
This is a glorious day. Words cannot describe this historic achievement by the Reggae Girls, who through sheer grit and determination in a game in which both teams went all out for victory, Jamaica came out victorious.
And those are some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
That's it for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. If you like the show, you can watch it again on our YouTube channel or on the JIS website. We're also on all the major social media platforms, so don't be shy. Stop by our pages and leave a comment. I'm Theodore Henry. Have a wonderful day.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.